So I have all sorts of stuff going here. What I'm showing you is this tool that I developed, and the tool is put into Web3. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that, right? I'm not speaking in some sort of metaphorical way. This is what I truly believe is happening, right? The, because I argue that IPFS.io and this number, this QMR, right? That's this is this is like Napster. This is a file sharing system, and it uses that content based addressing, right? And that's why I'm arguing that this is Web3, right? You could have a copy of this thing, and if it disappears out of IPFS, you could put it back in, or you could be the person that keeps it in IPFS, right? And it's just this tool. I have another version over here. So I'm speaking into a scanning application. And so by having two versions, we can see that. If you want info about the scanning application, you can learn more here. It's just a package that I use. It's open source, and it allows me to scan in QR codes, and I have these little little packets that I made, and this is just a test. There's 5 in each packet. If you dump them out, then you could see that. See, there's 5 of them, and of course you can have many of these packets. They're real cheap. So the idea is that you get enough of these to where you understand that these are random, right? They're random and nobody knows but you what they are. And see if you hold one up here, it see it scanned the code in, right? But I'll show you the process from the beginning over in this window. The reason why you see 2 windows is it's just a this is my this is my toolkit that I use. I come from a world where you can have a read, eval, print loop, and so this is just my toolkit to get onto Web3 that I'm sharing with you. Okay, if you have some ideas for improvements, then improve it and then put your version out there and then tell the world about it. How about that? All right, so if you go to wrigler.org/web3, by the way, that is not a Web3 site. So um, as soon as you hit that site, it's going to redirect you to IPFS. And again, if you want to learn about IPFS and some of these ideas, this page right here will tell you that. It's got a nice little carousel, and this is all running from IPFS. And if you click on home, you get different tools if they work. Now, sometimes I'll break the tools in some version. There's also this thing called Old Pinner. If you look at this, you may have seen this before. This is hosted on the IPF site, but it's sort of an older version of the stuff I was doing. And this is transactions put into a cryptocurrency. Okay, so again, you're using this IPFS to look now at a smart contract, and it's not that smart is relative. Okay, let me just put it that way. It's just writing down the data that you throw to it, and you can control that because it's your ID, it's your crypto, and I don't get nobody gets any of it. You can tell that. You can tell that, right? Because if I made a version of this where, 25 cents went to me, somebody else could just copy it and have a version with 10 cents go to them. And we're just, that's not the sort of competition that I think is useful. Okay, anyway, so let's go back though. And um, if you say scan QR codes here, that's the thing I'm doing over here. I can do over here as well. And so now this is a different, see, this is a different camera, okay? And what I'm showing you here is my work project, and it's a cartoon I've made with sort of the carriage from the Hateful Eight, but it's just become a generic kind of king and queen. And this these this is the chick track that I keep talking about, right? Now I think this code is too small. So that's, see, this was just an early, oh, there we go. So this will take you to yet a different IPFS address. And it looks like this one passes the string Ninth Baptist in this yet another rabbit trail, right? That's a Dogecoin or Digibyte address, right? For the actual church entity, right? I made a church. I made a church. So um, so you can send me, you can exercise the laws of Texas, let's say. See, I'm a universal hacker, um, and I'll just say, hey, write it off to the church, right? Because it's not going to be it's not going to be a billion zillion dollars here. It's going to be whatever money you pay me, and the church. The goal of the church is to spread the gospel of, drum roll, wait for it, um, blockchain, right? And you say, what? That's not a very good gospel message. Uh, sure it is. Hey, so let's get back to this though. So let's see. Let's actually, if we do that, it'll refresh it, and I'll show you. I want to show you now how this works. Okay, so normally you would paste these down to a piece of paper. I'm just going to hold them up. And okay, so that's the first one. And then here's the next one, 2, 3, and these are just random. 3, see it flashing? And 4, and then on 4, we have enough information to create, you just, all those numbers just get stuck together to create this private key, and it tells you what your public key is, gives you the public key in a QR code, right? That's not the private key in a QR code. If you want the QR code of the private key, what you probably should do is say generate QR code and then hit Control P to print. And just print that off, right? So then now you have two different copies of this private key. Although I have to say, if you have a printer, you don't exactly have to follow this process. There's a much easier way you could do things. You could also just install the freaking app, but that's neither here nor there. So um, so this is paper wallet idea, right? So that's how you create the paper wallet, and the little booklet is a way to the little booklet is a way to work in what I would call the third space to connect into Web3, connect people into Web3, right? So in the third space, of course, is not some mystical thing. It's like where you go when you're not at your house or work, right? So it could be anything from a church to a bar to um, that Uber driver you talk to all the time because it's the same Uber driver that comes every day or whatever, right? That's the third space, and that's how this can organically grow, and we can connect using these identities. And again, I showed you a second ago. Here, I'll turn the scanner on again, right? It showed you how you can use these random codes. The color dictates, see, it scanned it right here, right? That's what that is. The color dictates what the color changes with the code, but it's still random. It's still a random thing. And and if you have enough of these, so if you again in the third space, if you have a big group of people, like at the comic book store or something, right? The Magic the Gathering people. If you have enough people, then you can come to just trust that um, nobody's going to be able to keep track of all of these codes, and you are picking some random stickers out. I mean, I've like just in making this video, right? I've created entropy in my little world of demo stickers. So and that the idea is to generate adoption, right? And you wouldn't necessarily have $1 million in your Polygon account. You could do this with 7 cents. It doesn't matter, right? So the people, again, in the third space will just give you that money. Now you might say, what about taxes? And it's not enough money to matter. Plus, it's a church, right? It's that church thing I was talking about. See, it's a hack, right? I'm a hacker, and all this stuff is a hack. And people who aren't hackers are just trying to, um, they're building something that's overly complicated, and and so they may be being rewarded for behavior that's average or problematic, maybe, right? But not for thinking outside the proverbial box, right? Okay, you can make a box joke now. I don't really care. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Thanks.